All right, it's burger and a beer time. And this is not just any burger. This is a double mushroom caramel onion cheeseburger, because not only is there all this goodness on the outside, there's some on the inside too. So let's get into this messy deliciousness. Yeah. So burger, mushroom, onions, cheddar cheese, inside and on the outside. Delicious. Let's go in the kitchen and make some of this right now. All right, to make our double mushroom caramel onion cheeseburger, here's a few ingredients, and then afterwards we'll bring in the buns too. So what we have here, first of all, is the onion. We have one onion. It's been sliced about 1/8 of an inch or 3 millimeters thick. Mushrooms. Now, usually with a medium-sized mushroom, it'd be about 10 to 12 mushrooms. As you see, these are quite big, so this time around, about 8 mushrooms is going to do. And here, 8 ounces or 230 grams of cheddar cheese, grated. 2 tablespoons of butter, which we're going to cook the onions and mushrooms in right now. Over here, for the burger, for the patty, what we have is 1 pound or 450 grams of ground meat. In this case, again, my favorite, kind of like a half beef, half pork. Anything will do though. And here we have 1/4 cup of the panko breadcrumbs, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. All right, first thing, let's get the pan going here. Get that heated up. We're gonna do this at medium heat. Toss in the butter. Get that butter melting. Once that's melted, we're going to add in the onions. All right, that butter has melted, so what we're going to do now is toss the onions in there. And what I want to do is I want to cook those onions. Remember, we're on medium heat. Going to cook those onions for about 10 minutes. What I want to do is I want to caramelize these onions. I want them soft and a little caramelly, just that kind of golden brown and delicious. So let's come back in 10 minutes and see how we're doing. Those onions have been cooking for 10 minutes. They're getting a beautiful color. They're getting soft, heading towards caramelizing. So what we're going to do now, toss in the mushrooms. And we're going to keep doing the same thing. We're going to keep mixing that around. Going to keep cooking these another 5 minutes. So basically the mushrooms, they soften up pretty quick. So we're going to cook those for about 5 minutes. Move them around. All right. So while those are cooking, let's mix up the patties. So just toss all that hamburger into a bit of a larger bowl, easier to mix. Toss the breadcrumbs in there, pepper, salt, and using my favorite for doing this kind of thing, I like this plastic spatula so you can just cut through. Just like a cutting motion, just start mixing. Mixing until it's all combined nicely. All right. That's come together pretty good, so let's give these guys a stir. Oh, starting to smell good because our mushrooms are starting to brown a bit. Moving that around. I kind of flip those mushrooms around so they're getting heat on both sides. Just keep moving around and I'll just keep cooking. So now what we want to do here is we want to make 8 patties with this hamburger. But they're going to be thin patties because we're going to put them together into 4 patties. So I'm going to get this out. Just going to divide that up into 4 pieces. And then each of those goes to about a half. All right. So then just kind of roll them in your hand and flatten them out. I'll flatten them out to, about a little under a 1/2 inch, under 12 millimeters, under 10 millimeters. thereabouts. And that's just about right there. Now each of these is just a half of a patty, because we're going to put them together afterwards once we get the some of these ingredients inside there. So I think I'm about the same size. Alright, I'm going to keep making those. I'm going to cook that for about 5 minutes. Oh, that's starting to look really good. And we'll be back. Alright, 5 minutes. Look at those. That is beautiful. I'm going to take that off the heat. We've got the onions kind of caramelizing around there. We got the mushrooms nicely browned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss those back into the mushroom bowl. And get that back on there. We have 2 more tablespoons of butter. That's for cooking the hamburger in. So that pan's still hot, so I'm just going to let that butter melt while we assemble the burgers here. Now I've made 4 burgers. They're not all exactly the same size, but close enough. What we're going to do is just in the center, you just make a little indentation. And you can use the back of a spoon or something. I just use my fingers. And make a little indentation. What we're going to do here is just put a little cheese. You can't put much, but just a little bit of cheese in there. So that each one will give it a little bit of cheese. All right, and then just going to grab a little bit of onion, just a little bit of onion and mushroom, and whoa, not too much of that, just a little bit to share with each one. A little bit of onion. Yes, that is hot. Smart people use forks and things like that. Alright, so you might want to use a fork. It is a bit hot. Alright, just a little bit in there. The rest is all going to go on top of the burger afterwards. So just a little bit on the inside is a kind of a treat inside. This is what we call this the double, because you're getting double the flavor. It's all around you. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Now all we do is put them together. And on top there, oops, a little bit left behind. That on there. That on there. All right, and then just what you want to do is just kind of go around, just kind of crimp the edges together a little bit, so kind of holds all that inside. That's looking good there. Let's get that one done. Get that cheese out of the way. All right, so just kind of squishing the edges together a little bit. Forming a nice little patty. All right, those are ready to go in the frying pan. So let's get that pan. The butter's melted already. So we're gonna get that pan heated up again to medium heat. There we go. All right, that pan is still hot. That butter is bubbling. Okay, in we go. So just ride them into there. Now, gonna cook these on one side for about 6 to 8 minutes. As you just want to brown them nicely and cook the burger well. So about 6 to 8 minutes, probably heading more towards the 8-minute mark. And that should be just right, and then we'll flip them over. Just want to brown them nicely and kind of melt that cheese inside. All right, see you in about 8 minutes. All right, that's been about 7 to 8 minutes. And if we flip these over, oh yes, beautiful browning. Give a little push down each one as you turn them over. These are going to be delicious. Oops, push it a little hard on that one. Got to be careful. There might be some leakage out of that one. All right, now what I've done here, I've turned them over, and what we're going to do now is just Can't put all the cheese on. We're going to put some of that on the buns. We're going to sprinkle some on top here just to get some meltage happening. Not a lot, just a little handful on each bun or each patty. All right, just a little bit more. Gonna melt in there nicely. Beautiful. All right, we'll give that another 7-8 minutes on that side. Brown it nicely, and then we're gonna put together our hamburgers. All right, see you in a few minutes. All right, those have about another minute or two to go. So while we're waiting for them to cook, let's get our buns ready. Now, any kind of hamburger type bun will work. Anything that's this size or shape, really. I can't always get like real hamburger buns here in Japan. So what I have today is actually sweet potato buns. I'm gonna see what those are like. First thing we do, here I have a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, and of course 4 buns, there's the bun tops over there. So what I'm gonna do is just slather some mayonnaise on here. All right, save some of that for the tops. And then, cheese. Let's get some cheese onto each one. I'm gonna put this down here like a little bed for the burgers to sit on, because that hot burger is gonna melt that cheese. All right, so that's got a little bit of cheese sitting there. That's cheddar cheese, delicious, love it. All right, now those are about, yeah, that's about done. Okay, turn that off. Now we're gonna put that, just lay one on each of these. There's nothing like fried cheese. Delicious. All right, now each one of these, I'm going to take a little bit of mayonnaise, stick some of that on there, get some of this mixture here, onions and mushrooms, and slap that on there. This is going to be messy. You realize this is going to be a messy eat. Delicious. All right, so about 1/4 of this. If there's some left over, that's okay. Don't worry about being exact. You can always eat that just as is. So put that down, squish that down a bit. See, some pops out. That's okay. All right, there we go. 4 double mushroom caramel onion cheeseburgers. Enjoy. Now, if you go to the link appearing on the screen, you can get the free printable recipe for double mushroom caramel onion cheeseburger on our website. So go print out a recipe, have fun making these kind of messy and delicious burgers, and make cooking fun again with Kuma's Kitchen.